Chapter 44. Crewman Grant, all systems clear? Pierre Gonzalez demanded on the comm system. A static-laden affirmative came back as a response. Supervisor Gonzalez watched on the view screen of his terminal as the 3 military vehicles and Grant's reconnaissance craft held near dock orbit pattern outside the lobby of the midpoint. Can you get in anything on comms? Anything? I'll settle for an F-bomb. Negative. There was a static-filled reply. Crewman Grant, are you 100%? Do you have, a cold or something? Miskovich neither responded to this, nor had she attempted any sort of scan on the available communication systems. She was closing in on the signal of the Rapid Collective. Inside, Mr. Blue walked toward the gigantic bay windows of the lobby of the midpoint. He stared out at the 4 menacing space vehicles defiantly. They must be performing a... Pierre Gonzalez noted a green bar loading on his readout terminal. It locked and turned red. Grant, what the hell are you doing? The Rapids, within milliseconds, communicated with their hive conscious that the lead vehicle was going to open fire on the Midpoint Hotel, regardless of those stranded inside, and dispersed as they read the energy buildup in the weapon systems of the leading reconnaissance craft. A swarm of fluctuating metal appeared in front of the Time Lord and solidified into an immense steel wall as the impact tremor hit. The energy missiles impacted the hotel lobby, exploding several of the enormous bay windows on the wall. The energy missiles impacted the hotel lobby, exploding several on the enormous bay windows on the way to the floor, which erupted like an earthquake. The shockwaves sent Mr. Blue, Sully, and the children flying through the air. Although the main blast had been absorbed by the rapids, a horrendous vacuum blew around the debris, broken glass, and random snakes of electricity for a split second before the outer force field compensated haphazardly, restoring air and gravity. Overcome by the enormity of the energy impact, the rapids had no choice but to absorb it. Then they unanimously voted to then rechannel the excess power. It was either that or detonate. The rapids instantly fired the exact same energy back at the reconnaissance craft. Miskovich's vehicle exploded, racking the nearby military craft in the wake of the blast, sending them scattering dangerously. Midpoint Hotel, already having fully lost 1/3 of its lower support structure and branch, could not withstand the blast of the misguided crewman's energy weapons and the resulting chaotic destruction. It was collapsing. Fast. The Time Lord in the cobalt suit jumped up and grabbed the children by the backs of their shirts, one in each hand, dragging them out of the debris. Sully, he shouted, this place is falling apart. Let's go. He started running, one child dangling in each hand. The kids were protesting and slapping at his legs, yelling at him to put them down. He couldn't seem to hear them. He just jogged in circles, dragging the children, yelling for Sully as explosions and sparks and tremors rocked the midpoint lobby. Stop yanking me, I can walk, Dawn insisted, trying to get a foothold. Why won't this weirdo put her down? Pete kept slapping the Time Lord's hand as he dangled in the air. I'm fine, dude, I'm fine. A large chunk of debris scraped down a pile of ruins with a huge crash. The rapids had formed into a solid, very smooth humanoid shape, almost like a metal mannequin, except featureless. It was gently helping a coughing, angry, and very dirty retired Commodore up from a pile of expensive yet utterly destroyed furniture. Mr. Blue finally heard the children's protests and gently set them down as he stared at the rapids' new form, speculating that the disaster had made them more unified, more cohesive, better adapted, stronger. The Time Lord smiled internally, thinking about how disasters often have that effect. If you can stay strong enough, you can make it to the other side of anything, no matter how difficult. Perhaps actually be better off because of it. The revelry of having survived this moment was short-lived as the midpoint began to shake again. The Time Lord knew it would only get worse from here. "The support engines have failed, and all the support structure is gone." Mr. Blue was shouting to everyone as they gathered around him. "Unfortunately, my guess is the military won't handle this well. Doesn't matter who started this little brawl, they will undoubtedly finish it." He began walking fast backward, assessing that the rabbits, Sully, and the kids were all equipped to move very quickly if need be. "We don't have long until those Air Force muscle ships go ahead and blow this whole place to the 7Ls. The Time Lord took a deep breath. "Run!" Mr. Blue noted that luckily the lobby was adjacent to the meta platform, which was the whole point, really to be wowed by the elevator, then wowed by the lobby. He struggled. "Which was the whole point? Really, to be wowed by the elevator and then wowed by the lobby?" He struggled through the smashed plaster and metal wreckage, helping Sully and the kids while talking to himself. The rabbits reached the entryway of the metal platform first. "Can you get through the wall?" Sully asked the smooth metal man. The rabbits began typing furiously on the controls next to the door in the half-mile elevator. "Unknown." Mr. Blue was working on his time watch and fired a tremendous cobalt surge at the meta platform door. It didn't appear to do much. Sully looked behind him out the window on the other side of the disaster area, which used to be a gorgeous plush lobby. The big-ass gunships had recovered. They had realigned themselves. Outside, the 3 huge military craft were powering up their weapons. "Damn!" Mr. Blue furiously howled. A blast rocked the midpoint, tilting it severely. The rapids lost their footing, as did the Time Lord and his friends. Another explosion from another weapon fired, sending them high in the air. The group slammed into the dirty, shattered, glass-strewn marble floor. The rapids took advantage of this and disbanded, throwing everything they had at the door, bending it with a pure, concentrated kinetic force until it shattered. Finally, it was open. The attack ceased for a moment as the huge gunships began repowering their weapons. The midpoint stopped shaking, yet was creaking and hanging sideways. There was almost a silence in the lobby amidst the dark crimson glow of the flickering emergency lights and the horrendous destruction of the formerly beautiful hotel in space. The Time Lord in the cobalt suit stood with his mouth agape as the kids and Sully gathered behind him near the precipice. On the other side of the smashed elevator door was, literally, nothing except a 4-mile drop to the Earth's surface.